Previously on Oddjobs. Jas began her hunt for a new home here in the City of Forever, navigating the public transit system known as the Worm with mixed success. Her first stop, a pitside apartment deep in the borough of Common, where she was unimpressed by the shady landlord and the elemental infestation of geonates. After a casual escape, our hero made her way across town to Champion's Call for the second location, accidentally taking a few wrong turns, leading her to make a few friends and foes along the way. After navigating the raucous crowds of the borough and a quick tour of the apartment by a snobbish agent, Landlora, Jas was ready to say goodbye. That was until a judgmental comment had her turning heel, and that's where we are right now. What's going through Jas's mind right now?
This is nice, but I don't know if this is a bit of me, you know?
She walks up next to you, looking out on this Juliet balcony. Yes, I do know.
Actually, I really like it, and I'm gonna go look in the cabinets for rocks.
Okay.
I know that I cannot really afford this place, nor does it really feel like me. The posters, the nice, furnishings. I'm already thinking, like, what if I bleed all over this shit? There's a white couch. Who gets a white couch?
You're thinking this and hear a knock from downstairs, and you see Leonora goes, hold on one moment.
I wasn't holding for you at all. I'm opening cabinets.
And after a moment, you hear Landlora giving the same spiel she gave you to someone else. Another party who has arrived here because you were so late to this appointment.
She's trying to sell it under my feet, Goo. We deserve this place. I mean, we're not gonna rent it, but I kind of want to give this lady a hard time. It's been a long day. I've been on public transit a lot.
And as you're saying this, you head towards the stairs and look down, and you see Lenlora is speaking with this hulking black-furred minotaur, just like standing outside of the doorway. His bovine body is covered in rippling muscles that press through the tight brown shirt and khaki pants he wears. His red eyes look to you through thin-rimmed glasses, and he gives you a polite and awkward wave.
Yeah, I give it back.
What do you both think? And you see this minotaur goes, really nice place. Doorway's a little small, but I can make do. And he just pulls himself underneath it and begins to look around.
Cabinets are all good.
Oh, I'm always looking for whether or not the cabinets are good.
You know, you don't want one with rocks in it.
Never want rocks in my cabinets.
Jassifer, by the way.
Gritharis puts a massive hand forward towards you.
My hand is just like perfectly fits inside of his. He just shakes my whole hand.
Shakes you. You both hold firm. Nice handshake.
Nice to meet you. How many bedrooms in this place?
Just the one. If you're both interested, though, you'll have to duel each other for it.
I look at him. I don't think we really have to duel each other. I think that she just says weird stuff. You know this lady?
All business disputes can and will be settled through duel. It's Champion's Call law.
Oh, okay. You have to duel if two people like an apartment.
Yeah, it's an option, I think, for all sorts of disagreements, but specifically for an apartment, you gotta duel over it. Did you not bring your weapon?
No, I've got my hammer right here I guess it's good I didn't sell it, because I was thinking of doing that.
Well, if you sell it, you better buy one. You see Goo is, like, looking around at all of this, looks pretty frightened.
Gritharis, listen, you seem nice, and I'm sure it would be pretty fun to duel you, but, I don't really think I can afford this place. So, if you're looking for someone to, let's say, cut, 6 gold out of the matter for you and sleep on the couch, I'm pretty quiet, and, I don't cook a lot, but I could learn.
Well, I guess I hadn't considered a roommate, but it's always nice to save a little gold here and there.
It is nice, and it's a nice place, and it's furnished already, so, I understand if you want to keep it for yourself, but I've got a couple of other appointments today I think I'm going to check out, but maybe I could take down your scry number, and then...
He pulls out his scry phone and begins to taps a few things and then turns it towards you to add your contact to it.
Right. How about I just write down your number? My phone's at home, so I'll just write down your number and then text you when I'm back.
Gritharis eyes you for a moment, but then looks to Landlora, who goes, pulls off a piece of paper from her notepad and hands it to you.
Thank you, Landlora.
Hands you a pen after that.
All right. Yeah, I take down Gritharis's number and kind of stick it into a little newspaper clipping I have. No hard feelings, but, if you're ever looking for someone to duel over a not business complication, I'm open to that as well.
Well, I hope we get into a disagreement soon.
Okay, disagree with you soon.
And the two of you wave goodbye as Landlora turns back to him and begins to give him a tour through the apartment. And you head off to the next appointment.
Bye, Landlorda.
It's Landlora, like Lan and Laura. It's an elven name. You're being rude.
I had outside. That guy was nice. I don't know about that elf.
You head off to the next appointment.
Wow, I made a friend in the city, Goo.
You made one enemy and one friend.
I made two enemies. Scum and Landlora.
You head deep into the worm station once more. Give me a d20 roll. This time it is afternoon. We actually shift the numbers on the table.
Ooh. Oh, mama. Not one.
Okay. Hey, it's an encounter table.
That
may not be the worst. Roll me a d100.
On account of me rolling a nat one.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled a 6.
Okay. You're level 3, so you rolled higher than your level.
What does that mean?
Nothing as of now. But a different thing will happen instead. It doesn't take long to travel between stations and the central hub, barely a minute or so, and part of you wonders why this is set up this way. The creation of this system was clearly a massive arcane undertaking. The amount of people, specifically mages, who had to come together and make this, why was this the format that they chose? Why not arcane gates or teleportation circles? You haven't had a ton of experience with magic, or specifically conjuration and teleportation magic, but even you think that this probably isn't the most efficient way to do things.
Like I said, the goblins used to ride a big worm too, so it feels familiar in kind of a weird way.
And you wonder about the minutia of this strange teleportation for but a moment, until you are shaken from it by a flash of light from outside and a rumble that shakes everyone, knocking a few people who are the least prepared off their feet onto the cold ground. Then it's all back to normal.
What was that? No, I say to the person who's next to me on the worm. What was that?
A man looks at you and goes, turbulence? I don't know.
Are we on a real worm? Just moved here.
As you are having this conversation, you clock that you guys are still on this train. It's still flying through this tunnel of light. It doesn't seem to be stopping. A long time ago, there was an emperor who wanted to fulfill one of the requests of the people to create a public transit system. But he was a bit eccentric.
And so he made a worm?
Well, again, it's a little bit more complex, and he kind of turns towards you, and he's dressed pretty nicely, has tweed jacket and everything. You notice he's probably some sort of professor of sorts. And he goes, he found the idea of a bus or train system boring, and so he decided to put on a many-year hunt where people were paid to go out and hunt down astral worms and wrangle the dreadnoughts in to create this system, and then the mages were implemented to set it up and connect it to each other.
Are the worms willing participants in that?
The fact that they were captured and put into the ground to create this transit system indicates that they were probably not fond of did not
the
want to be a part of this
concept.
system.
Yeah, okay. No, I was thinking that. I just wanted to check in case they had, like, found their calling or something. So what, this one's just going express because it's pissed off?
No, they don't usually take this long. He begins to look around. You see others, like a half-orc woman, peer up and look out the windows, a bit confused. It should only take a matter of minutes. I mean, most of this, again, was part of the design choice. He wanted it to look and feel like a subway, but he just thought the idea of a subway was boring.
I lean over and press the button like I've seen other people do, just in case. I don't really have a concept of, like, what causes it to stop or the doors to open.
It glows red and just goes dark.
That didn't work, and that was my only idea.
More time passes. What does Jassifer do as, like, people are getting more and more frustrated and, like, arguing amongst themselves and peering out the windows?
I've got the cold demeanor of a soldier pretty much at all times, but I am not feeling being trapped in this tiny little space. Underground / in an astral vacuum somewhere. I think I start to feel a little bit anxious. I'm compulsively petting Goo. Is there an emergency stop on this thing, or how do you reach the worm? Do they talk?
No, they don't speak. They're in a state of stasis.
But someone's got to be controlling all of this somewhere, right? Like a unit or a conductor?
The ETA, the Eternal Transit Authority?
Yeah, how do we get in touch with them?
I don't know.
This guy's no help. Does anyone know how to get in touch with the ETA? I say loudly.
There's another shuddering noise and flashes of light from outside, and then the train begins to finally slow, stopping a few moments later as people begin to crowd at the doors, angrily talking about how they're going to miss their meeting. And this professor's like, oh, great, I'm late to my lecture. And as they are, like, arguing and they press the button and step through the void and you follow, you step out into a disaster zone. Piles of debris all around you, cracks on the stone street, fires roaring, arcane sparks coming from streetlights. Stellar Sentry are everywhere, helping those affected by whatever this disaster was. Your fellow passengers equally as bewildered as you. You look upon this scene with a mix of confusion and horror as Stellar Sentry rush up to you. Are you okay? Are you okay?
Is this Dread Heights? I'm looking for 666 Nether Street in Little Avernus.
This is Dread Heights, but... you're completely unfazed by this?
Hey, your worm's broke.
You point back towards the worm and look over your shoulder to see the massive, slack-jawed maw of this gargantuan beast, the largest creature you've ever and hopefully will ever see. Above the mouth, which you and your fellow passengers had exited from, and you now realize that all of these tunnels are just like worm maws that you have been stepping in and out of.
Oh, I don't know why I didn't really process that in my mind. We're all just kind of ignoring this, huh?
You see the glazed eye, the single green-yellow glazed eye just staring out blankly. This massive, bumpy, purplish body protected by a layer of strong, spiked armor plating, its serpentine body stretching deep into the ground. It has these two massive, like, crab-like pincers that you see it has used to kind of pull itself out of the ground before one of these mages has immobilized it with a hold monster spell and is like holding it in place as others are helping guide it back into the ground.
Is it okay?
Why are you worried about this worm? Are you okay?
I'm clearly fine. Everyone's fine. It was just a little
Ma'am, if you're fine, I need you to clear this area. This is a dangerous space. You need to go.
What's up with the worm?
You are pushed back, and as you are pushed back, give me a perception check.
Perception with my -1 is 13.
You look at the mage and see an old, gnomish face. Behind him stands 4 figures, 2 of which are standard humanoid sized, another short, and then a much taller figure, like a giant being, who are talking to various Stellar Sentry, like several hundred feet away. And you're hustled off and guided with the other people down away from this incident towards another worm station where the guards are like, "We apologize for interrupting your journey. Please, if you don't mind, you can continue down free of charge."
Wow, what a treat to get on another one of these things for free.
You are hurried down into the mouth of this worm, into the dark, sparkling void. Go ahead and roll a d20 for me. 18 on the die.
I am troubled by what I have seen. I think that I've been eager to try and compare this world to my own in an attempt to normalize things, but I don't think the worms in Erdheim were ever treated like this. We treated our steeds with dignity and took care of them and washed the mud from their sides like they were our own comrades. They might have been transport, but they were also an equal part of the giant machine that was the quest against Grimgrave. And I am sort of disturbed picturing this glazed over yellow eye and feeling the thrashing of this worm around me.
You sit in this thought as you ride upon this strange form of transportation. You think of whatever this great worm hunt was, how terrible it must have been for pretty much everyone who was a part of it, except for those, I suppose, who successfully wrangled a worm and were rewarded for it.
Probably fun and good for them.
Yeah, like they probably loved doing this. Otherwise, why would you go through the psychopathic fucking journey that is hunting one of these astral dreadnoughts, these beasts that are, you immediately recognize this is obviously way more powerful than any sort of creature that you actually have even interacted with. This being is like eldritch in nature, and they have somehow captured and imprisoned hundreds of them, seemingly, inside of the asteroids that make up this city. And I think that you're like, that is insane.
This makes Zuria look like an errand.
Literally, you think of all of the various villains that you have faced off against, Zuria, Grimgrave, his many lieutenants. Mm-hmm. You cannot think of a more sinister and psychotic act that is just like, on a whim, for the fun of it, because you don't think regular public transit is, like, exciting enough.
Capturing hundreds of, like, demigods, essentially.
Yes, like, literally, it is an insane idea that is deeply troubling on so many levels. And as you are flying through this blurred tunnel amongst the sparkling lights, traversing this bend in space, standing amongst the various travelers who are making their way to their destination, you see something underneath an empty booth of seats. It catches your eye and kind of shakes you from these thoughts, a momentary distraction from the despair that creeps in when conceptualizing such a horrific project. Give me a d6 roll.
4.
It's a small bag, no bigger than a backpack, made from soft black material. As you look at it, what do?
I'll glance around. How close is it to other people? Like, does it seem like it could be someone who's sitting there and it, like, slid over?
There's a few people, a few seats away in the next booth over. There's some people standing around, but no one seems to be, like, looking for a bag, and no one has yet acknowledged the bag underneath the seats.
I look at Goo. We really shouldn't be sticking our noses where they don't belong. But then again, you don't really have a nose, so... Okay. You're right. We should just see what's in it and get it back to the owner, turn it in or something.
You go and interact with the bag?
I get up from my seat and just kind of nonchalantly mosey over, and I'm gonna sit on the seat that the bag, under which the bag is, and then kind of once, maybe someone looks at me or whatever when I'm going and sitting in another seat, switching seats for no reason.
You get a few glances.
Once any interest, has waned, then I kind of am just gonna lean down, again, very nonchalantly, and just pull the bag forward a little bit. I want to feel the weight of it, just like I pull it in between my feet.
It's pretty light. It feels like maybe the backpack of someone who would be like a student of sorts, though you're not exactly sure of like where they might have been going.
Okay. Yeah, I open up the drawstrings.
You undo and open up the drawstrings and see inside 3 scrolls, a sparkling black book, and a set of similarly colored and patterned priest robes. Give me a religion check.
Nat 20.
You immediately recognize these robes.
Really?
These are the same kind of robes that Bless Wholeheart used to wear. Sparkling midnight robes folded perfectly within the bottom of this bag. You look at the holy book. This is the Patricklieberkind, the book of fate, a holy book for her and her order.
I wrench the drawstrings closed and sit back against my seat and breathe against the pounding of my own heart. What is this? Why is this here?
The train begins to slow until it finally screeches to a stop and the doors ding open.
I'm first at the doors with the bag in my hand.
Give me a sleight of hand check.
23.
Way higher than the passive perception of any of the people in here. You manage to snag the bag and follow the crowds as you head back into the darkness and appear in another area of Dread Heights, the most populous of the Tribad boroughs, which have ties to the lower plains. The first thing you notice upon arrival is the higher than normal fiend population here. You see all other types of folk too, but there are notably more fiends than folks, or people with some sort of fiendish heritage, like tieflings and such. While you are looking at these people, give me another religion check.
Okay. 17.
You clock that these aren't just fiends of all kinds either. They are specifically devils, not demons. And you know devils to be lawful evil and demons to be chaotic evil, as in like devils follow a code and have a hierarchy to execute their sinister plans. Demons are like wild cards, typically doing anything that will be cruel and entertaining for them. These are all devils.
Okay. So a lawfully terrible place. Got it. I'm barely taking in the street. I kind of press my back up against the wall of the exterior of the station and draw the bag open again and just look in to make sure that I didn't hallucinate seeing Bless's robes.
You look in. This is not a hallucination. Unlike the sword, these are real. You touch them and they are made of the same silky, soft material. They may not be Bless's robes exactly, but they are a version of it, certainly.
I plunge my hand in and pull out the little black book, and I'll just go through it. Does it have a name inside of it, or any like lines underlined? Has there been any kind of personalization to this like holy text?
You open this book and see a very beautifully inscribed manuscript, similar to those written in that sort of like medieval style. It is very, very intricate, precise calligraphy, and though it isn't written in common per se, you look at it and you seem to understand it. It reads like common to you, but the letters are definitely not standard like native tongue of yours. You're looking at it and you seem to be able to gather the meaning. It is underlined in certain sections. You see some notes in a language that you don't recognize, clearly some other sort of tongue, but there doesn't seem to be any actual indication of who this belonged to.
Goo, can you read this? I shove the book back in the backpack and I just kind of like loop my hand around the fabric and I just keep a tight hold on it and I say, we can figure this out later. You and I need to find a place to live that isn't filled with a million kids.
You push down these intense feelings. Riding on the worm is crazy. It is crazy. So far today, you have had a number of strange interactions. You have had beautiful moments, terrifying moments. You've learned more about the sinister history of this city, and now you're being confronted with your past.
I think about seeing my sword and Clover's umbrella, and now these strange, familiar robes that remind me of Bless Whole Hearts, and I just shut that cabinet door in my mind, and I look at Goo and I say, let's find an apartment, and never mind all of this.
And just nods, and the two of you close this bag, step away from the worm station, and begin to make your way to 666 Nether Street. Now, aesthetically, the area of this borough is pretty modern looking. Asphalt streets, concrete sidewalks, buildings of brick and plaster, restaurants, small shops, a grocery. This is sort of like a downtown area, honestly reminiscent of certain parts of like Brooklyn, Queens. You make your way through the main street of Little Avernus, the name of this quaint little neighborhood. Most people pay you no mind, sans a few fiends who you see sitting outside of a coffee shop sipping some espresso. They read their papers and talk in a strange, wicked tongue until you pass, at which point they pause and go, "Afternoon."
Nice to meet you.
They all look at each other as you continue on your way. You did not meet them at all.
We met just now. What do you mean, Goo?
Rubbing gooey little foreheads.
These people might be my neighbors. I need to make a good impression.
Thankfully, it doesn't take too long for you to find 666 Nether Street. It's more house-like than you expected as you turn onto this long avenue off of the main street. Big bay windows in the front with a maroon door to the side, a small gated lawn before the door where you think this could be your next potential home. There's a small garden out front. It's quaint.
Looks nice. We could probably grow some kind of berries or fruit here. There's a lot of green space. It's weird that they just kind of have all this short grass here. What is that doing for anyone? In fact, everyone's just got short grass here. Do they eat grass? Do they eat grass here?
As you open the gate and head down the small sidewalk to the front door.
So perfectly manicured, but useless.
It's a very strange neighborhood. I mean, it is, as I said, it's like Brooklyn, Queens. Like, there is a city sense here, and there are a lot of buildings packed together. But then you have these apartment buildings that do look house-like, and these small lawns that are clearly just people carving out a small space for themselves in this city, right. Just defining their property in a very distinct way. You ring the doorbell and wait for a beat. Give me a perception check.
Ooh, okay. I'm actually not going to say I'm rolling good because that will immediately curse me and end my streak. No one heard that.
So we won't be saying that, obviously. We would never even imply that.
A 17, and I'm grateful for it, and I would never take it for granted.
Interesting. You notice that there's not a lot of people on this street.
Quiet.
You look around. It looks like actually pretty empty. The main street that you were on was pretty busy, but you've walked away from that now, and there doesn't seem to be anyone walking around here.
No kids playing?
No kids, no sounds except for the distant vehicles far, far away.
Well, the last place was pretty crazy, Goo, but this place seems kind of culturally dead a little bit.
You begin to get a prickling feeling on the back of your neck, and you turn and you see a car parked a ways down the street.
I look for the Oddjobs insignia.
Doesn't look Oddjobs related. It's just like this old, kind of nice looking but older car. It looks like this older, but still very nice station wagon. It's parked like maybe, I don't know, 100 or so feet down the street.
I kind of glance. There's a driver in the front seat?
Yeah, you see two people in the car, one in the front seat, one in the passenger seat, and they're just talking to each other quietly.
Nothing wrong with having a nice conversation in a car. Clover and I do it all the time recently since I got here and met her and got this job and need an apartment. Right, I knock.
You knock again.
Hello, Jassifer, I'm here for the tour.
You look back towards the car and see these two individuals now looking at you, and they look a bit like shocked. They're wide-eyed, confused. They look at each other and begin to talk really intensely.
I point at the door I mean, assume they're like pretty far away from me, but we could kind of make out each other's like body
you
language.
see them. They look to be two fiends. One of them is like this bulbous looking one with a fedora on, another one this gangly one with big wings. You can't really make out what they're saying to each other because they're 100 feet away from you, but you see that they have acknowledged your existence and are now talking very, very intensely.
I point at the door and then give them like a little like nonchalant shrug, like a what gives, right?
It all happens instantaneously.
What?
A crackling of magic, a flash of light, and a burst of flame from the building. Give me a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. 17.
You save. You're only going to take half damage.
Okay. Go, look out! This is so dangerous. I didn't know it would be so dangerous looking for apartments. I just want stuff to stop happening.
You take 13 damage.
Oh, that hurts me badly. About half of the hurt I can withstand.
As this explosion rocks this house, the windows are blasted out, the door is shattered, you are thrown backwards into the grass as debris tumbles over you and flames blossom out, smoke filling the air as you cover yourself.
Oh, my back. Useless fucking lawn.
The flames subside as quickly as they came, and the apartment tumbles, crumbling to the ground, plumes of ash and smoke flying into the air.
Hey, Goo. Do you know how to get to 44 Tartar Boulevard? The rest is redacted.
You hear the sound of tires squealing and a vehicle approaching quickly, and then stopping, the two doors open and slamming shut. Two voices. Shit, 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 shit. Another one looming over you. Who in the nine hells even is this lady?
That wasn't me, by the way.
Hey, lady, you good?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. I'm mostly just laying down because the grass is so soft.
You look up and see these two devils looming over you. They're both wearing, like, zoot suits and look very, very intimidating, but look shocked and relieved to see that you are still alive despite this explosion. And the like squatter one, this Nuparibo devil, this lumpy purple skins, no eyes, terrifying looking devil, leans over and goes, "That was crazy. Probably some sort of gas leak. Good thing we got to you in time."
Yeah, who are you fellas trying to kill?
Why, kill, I wouldn't say kill. No, I wouldn't say kill. We don't want to kill nobody. I don't know what you're talking about. Allegedly.
I've been around a trap or two in my life. I know one when I see one. That was pretty smart, you know. I didn't see it coming at all.
Hey, thanks. That's really nice of you to say. This is our first big job, and, you know, we were so nervous. Then when you walked up, actually, allegedly, all of that stuff, shit.
Yeah, sure. Jassifer, by the way.
The shorter of the two goes, "Bump." And then the taller, thin devil goes, "Grind."
Hey, Bump. Hey, Grind.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, you guys don't know if there's any other property up for rent in the area, do you?
I'm sure there's something nice around here.
Maybe for under 10 gold?
Oh, yeah, sure. You were gonna rent this place?
I was thinking about it, if there wasn't anything weird in the cabinets.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad that allegedly something happened here that you survived. And, we're just gonna head out. We hope
you never answered my question. Allegedly, who had the appointment after me?
I do not know what you are talking about. We are traveling toilet salesmen. We sell toilets. Yeah, we sell toilets.
I might need one of those, depending on what's in the apartment I look at next.
Yeah, well, here's our card. And you see one of them pulls out a business card and hands it to you. And you see this obsidian black piece of cardstock, and on it is inscribed in this almost burning font that seems to glow a little bit, Infernus Venatoris.
Infernus Venatoris. Is this your boss or the company name?
We do all sorts of business. If you ever looking...
This guy, you can't answer one question straight.
We do all sorts of business. If you're ever in need, don't be afraid to reach out.
Okay. I was in need of an apartment, but I can see that's not going to happen today, so I'm just going to kind of move on from this. A lot of weird stuff has been happening to me, and believe it or not, this is not that weird.
That's great, lady. Well, have a wonderful day.
Yeah, you too.
We appreciate you being so understanding. We definitely weren't trying to kill anyone. It's crazy.
That's
the
clear.
Gas leak. That was the crazy gas leak.
It's definitely what happened, yeah.
Definitely a gas leak.
All right, well, enjoy your drive. Don't hit the eject button. It's a thing that sometimes Jassifer does in the van.
That's not something our car has, but thanks for the warning. Have a wonderful day.
Oh,
And the
wait,
two
do you
of
know
them
we're
scamper
44?
off.
Come on, go. Back on the worm, I think.
You head back down the street. At least that option is off the table and you don't have to worry about it anymore.
At least.
Go ahead and give me another d20 roll as you head back into the workstation.
We've been out all day, and so far the options are sleep in a place where our money's gonna be stolen constantly, or sleep on Gritharis's couch. That's a 3 on my d20.
This train is particularly packed, and as you appear within it, you feel that pushing and pulling feeling from the in-between space doesn't really disappear, as you kind of just are suddenly squashed between various folks who are packed within this train. Above you is this Barlgura, this muscled orange-furred gorilla demon that just looms there, just gives you a little nod.
I'm done nodding at people.
Gives you a nod. This
I
demon...
avert eye contact.
This demon looks a little offended as you look away.
Don't take it personally, man. Looking at people in this city, I can already tell after my first day here, it's not a good idea.
A young half-elf with rich brown skin and woven hair smiles and plays with the wet green hair of her water genasi boyfriend, eyes filled with love.
Aw, young love.
You see an electric blue-eyed, androgynous-looking figure, almost like a halfling in nature, but with long, pointed fey ears. A bit bigger than you, but similarly lean, with a shock of long, like, strawberry, white blonde hair that looks almost like they stuck a fork in an outlet. They duck under the Barlgura's thick muscled arm as it turns away from you, frustrated, and they give you like that knowing look between two very short people.
Yeah. Tight space.
You said it.
I did.
The lights outside flicker brighter and flash. The train jostles. Hard to imagine this interdimensional space has turbulence, but at this point you have experienced many different things today, and you're just thankful that this isn't as severe as your last major train ride was.
You heard one of these things went off the rails today?
What? Oh my god, that's terrible.
Yeah, everyone was fine.
Why are you talking to me?
You talked to me first.
I just gave you a look, man.
You ever heard something like that happening, though?
As you say that, there's another sway of the car, and you are kind of bumped into this person who goes,
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
and you are pulled away as the train sways in a different way. Give me a perception check.
11.
You don't notice anything of note as the train slows and halts. Eventually the doors opening and people heading on their way.
Okay. I'll walk out.
You walk out into Grand Worm Central, the sea of people sweeping you to your next destination.
That guy was looking at me weird.
You head on your way to 44 Tartar Boulevard. Give me an intelligence check with advantage.
I have 44 Tartar Boulevard, aka star redacted, the Terrlands. Is that correct?
Yeah, the name of it is actually...
Okay, got it. That's a 16.
A 16.
Phew.
You successfully navigate your way through the station and find the next archway you must head into. And so you do. Give me another d20 roll.
12.
I think that's another DM's choice.
Ooh. Uh-oh. Choose well, friend.
Inside the subway car, you hurtle through this infinity with great speed, no one seemingly fazed by it. The flashing, colorful lights streak by, occasionally illuminate people reading, talking, playing on their scry phones. A totally normal experience for them. As you're taking this in, however, you suddenly hear, "Hey, yo!" and turn to see this dark elf wearing a black graphic tee that has a horrifying looking maw of a worm on it, the words worm talk within it. You see he has a stud earring in one ear and a small gold chain and a backwards hat on, lavender eyes filled with all the smug confidence of a content creator. He holds with him a small microphone in hand, and his friend, this little goblin in a hoodie that has the same logo on it, is holding up his scry phone, clearly filming you. Can we interview you? Thank you so much for listening.
If you enjoyed the show, please follow us on Spotify or leave a review on Apple Podcasts.
Thank you especially to our Eldritch patrons. If you would like to become an Eldritch patron, go to patreon.com/trynottodiepod. At the $5 tier, you get access to the afterlife. That's right, you get access to heaven or hell, it's up to you, via the exclusive talkback show where we discuss what happened during this arc.
You also get access to a bunch of other bonus content like recipes from the show, polls, and other random stuff we're cooking up.
But if you really want access to a bunch of other full-length episodes, sign up for the $10 tier for the content search where we play out usually canon one-shots, test out new systems, review nerdy media, and really do anything we can to entertain you, our Eldritch patrons.
And of course, a huge thank you to Lore Party, the network that supports us. Lore Party Media is dedicated to celebrating the power of stories that shape who we are. If you enjoy our show, please check out their other shows, which you can see on loreparty.com, or you can just search Lore Party in your favorite podcast streaming platform.
And you can check me out on Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch, all under the username Noah the Infuriator. No spaces, just Noah the Infuriator.
While you're at it, hit up my socials too, Lease vs. Life, that's Lease vs. Life. Follow me on TikTok, and then while you're at that, follow Try Not to Die Pod on TikTok too, where we post clips of the show.
Thank you again for listening, and until next time, try not to die. All hail our Eldritch patrons! Especially Andrew, Anita, Ashley, Becca B, Bugroots, Colleen, Colin, Ian, Alana, Emily, Grace, Hope, Jacob, James, Jeff, Joey, Karen, Kate, Katie, Leo, May, Morgan, Paige, Patrick, Sahara, Timmy, and of course, our producer Patty, Patrick Bronstetter, and producer Daddies, Drew Bailey, Sam Golden, Becca Mount, and Rose Evelyn Campbell. We thank you for these podcasting powers and promise to raise hell in your names. Till next time, try not to die.